Palm Bay up to 192. And then they've got the approval then to do from 192 to Ellis. So then you'll have that access into the airport.
That's really going to be very beneficial for hurricane evacuation. And that's why I was thinking like on beachside, because where Mill Beach is, they either go south to Wabasso and over or north to the Melbourne Causeway and over. And that does interfere with some of the evacuation when they're leaving the barrier islands. But, no more than, not to bring a downer on our show today, but just want to give out prayers to everyone that is experiencing all that devastation in Texas right now. We have family and friends there, and it's a lot of people do. So, but understanding that here we are in Florida and we've experienced this. We just had the anniversary of Andrew last week as well. For those, your brother lost everything. So
lost his whole house.
We totally understand a lot of that and what's happening right now. We just need to always understand that when they do propose something that is happening there in Palm Bay with that interchange, yes, federal government does, but it's such a very valuable piece for the community, and we need to support that.
It's funny because we did have this morning was our hurricane preparedness seminar that we had at our Brevard Business Professionals, and it just happened. I mean, we obviously had this scheduled months ago, and the fact that we're seeing all this devastation in Houston, and I think because we are in Florida, we take for granted, oh, yeah, we know what to do. And, it's been a while and, you get complacent. And I think that was one of the things they were trying to impress upon, especially business owners, is that to make sure that your business is also prepared, that you really are checking your evacuation kit to make sure you have the things that you're going to need. Because when you see the devastation in Houston, I mean, it just seems that is going to be years, you know what I mean? Like it's just
some of it will be a decade to repair and get everything done, and it's just like we've all said, a tragedy. But
right. But as business owners, we need to be prepared.
We know there's another hurricane coming for Florida.
You betcha.
We don't know when or what, all that stuff, but we do know there's one in our future sometime. So might as well prepare.
So with offering that type of a program for the community, now that's not just for members. It's open your events, they're open for the community as well,
absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
So you're bringing this awareness. So thank you for that. Definitely.
Yeah, we had Jeff Guadalupe was FEMA trained on, kind of the things that you need to prepare. And then we had Joe Raley from State Farm talking about really looking at your policies, because a lot of people, he said what was really sad is only about 30% of homeowners have flood insurance. And he said most of the damage in Houston will be flood related. Okay. It wasn't from the hurricane. It was from the rivers rising. And, so just go over your policy, things that you kind of don't think about. And then Judy Bova from Paul Davis Restoration, they were talking about then what you do if your home is damaged, who to call. Because I was thinking, get your carpet up, blah, 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 right away so there isn't mold in that. And she said, no, that's dangerous to do that because it could already have growth in there. And then that could put the person at risk. You want the professionals to come in, sometimes with the hazmat suits, to make sure that they're, getting rid of the damage professionally. So it was very informative, I have to say, as kind of things that, you think, oh, yeah, I remember that they had told me that way back when. And, but you get complacent and you're like, oh, yeah.
So that's definitely what the Chambers of Commerce do. They bring this awareness to the community. And, I have a question for you. And I don't know if I asked you this when we were here last year or not, but what inspired you to become a president of the chamber?
Oh, that's interesting.
I know we're all very happy and very thankful that you are, but
I've
just been curious about that.
It's okay, and this sounds a little freaky, but I was at an event and there was a palm reader there one time, and she said, you seem to have this overwhelming need to give back to your community. And I went, that's kind of true. I sometimes have a problem saying no because I always, we've talked about that, because I want to help. And I think with the chamber, it offered me the opportunity to work with small businesses and large ones to make connections, to see them grow, to provide them with information that can help their business. And I just felt like with the connections that I had established being in the chambers, that I would be able to assist them. And I guess I looked at it as that servant mentality that, I could offer value for our members and really help them grow, looking at it like what I can do for them. Mm-hmm. And, when we make decisions of things that we want to do, it's like, well, would this help our members? Is this a good thing? Not just, oh, that sounds fun, let's do that. I mean, I've done that once in a while, but, but we look at it like, really, is this going to help our members? And when I had taken over, they had a monthly luncheon. And I kind of thought, well, if you can't make lunch, and for a lot of entrepreneurs, and your radio program is always during our lunch hour, it's like, why would they ever join us? So we did start doing some breakfast and after hour mingles, mm-hmm. and providing other opportunities for businesses to engage and network and have educational seminars. And we even do a webinar ourselves. It's kind of a little funny one, but
it is fun though.
Yeah, well, and so because we thought, if you want to just stay at your office, it's hard. When we talked about driving to Titusville, if they can just sit in their office while they're doing emails and kind of listen and mm-hmm. then get engaged if it's something that perks them their interest. Hey, that's what we're about. That's what we're trying to do. So I just felt like I could make a difference.
And you are.
Oh, well, thank you.
You definitely are. Well, I just see, and I know, Richard, we've discussed this, because, we love to network. We love to build relationships and meet people, but there's just some kind of energy that's happening within the Greater Palm Bay Chamber that excites us. And we wish we could get more involved. And that's our goal here this next year, definitely, by adding more workshops and, mm-hmm. but also be able to get to more luncheons. It's the one great thing about having an internet station. You can always pre-record the shows.
Are you listening, Jeff?
So we could definitely attend more of those luncheons because they're always so informative. And and you had our producer Jeff Heiser as one of the speakers here at the beginning of the year, so that you met when you were here.
Last time, and I'm looking to have him again. He was so interesting, and I think that's some of the cool things about doing these different, who would have thought, okay, we're just having a conversation and he's got a new training and I'm thinking that would be perfect for our members. So I think that's what I find fascinating is who we talk about that. Yep. You never know who's going to be the next one that, you can work with and partner with and, kind of make a difference for our members. So it's exciting. I think and I'm not sure if this is the time, but one of the big exciting things that we have coming up is the symposium.
Definitely, we definitely want to get that information out there because this is new. And
absolutely,
is it the first time in Brevard County history that you've had all these people together in one room?
I'm not sure. I kind of think it might be because, I kind of thought that we all have a limited amount of time and we go to different meetings and we'll have a guest speaker. And I mean, that's really the model. That's what we do. Mm-hmm. But I thought, what if we could try and get all of these people in the same room together and then we could ask them questions, because sometimes that's, they just kind of do a presentation and there isn't any interaction. And I thought, well, let's put some panels together. And we started with Congressman Posey to find out when he had available, which was 4 dates. So we worked around that. He's a busy man. So September 22nd from 8 to 2 is the date that we have chosen. It's going to be at the Space Coast Convention Center, and it's only $45. It includes breakfast, a continental breakfast, and lunch. And so our first panel starts off at 8:30 to 9:30, and we have Sheriff Wayne Ivey. We've got Thomas Weinberg, the chairman of the Port Canaveral Port Authority. We've got Michelle Maslin, who is president of the Home Builders and Contractors Association of Brevard. We've got Misty Belford, who is chairwoman of the Brevard County School Board. And then we have Jim Barfield, who is the county commissioner for District 2. So that's one panel, kind of what's here in Brevard mm-hmm. with the elected officials. And then our next panel is 9:45 to 10:45. Dwayne DeFries, our executive director of the Indian River Lagoon Council. We've got Jim Kuzma, who is the senior vice president and chief operating officer of Space Florida. We've got Linda Weatherman. We all know her, and she's fabulous. President and CEO of Florida Space Coast Economic Development Commission. That's a mouthful. We all know EDC.
EDC is a lot easier on the tongue.
Yes, it is. We have Eric Garvey. He's the executive director of Space Coast Office of Tourism, or TDC. And then Greg Donovan, an executive director of the Orlando Melbourne International Airport. So that's kind of a panel with transportation and the economic development, the drivers that are happening here in Brevard County. And then our third panel has our elected representatives for Florida. So we have Dorothy Hugel from our Florida senator. We have then our Florida representatives from our district, Thomas Goodson, Thad Altman, and Randy Fine. So they're all going to be on a panel together and talking about, I guess, what happened in the legislature. That was a little contentious. Yes. And then kind of what they want to do for this year, because I think, a lot of Floridians got a little frustrated with the, kind of what happened last year. And then Congressman Posey was slated as our keynote speaker, and he is now having to go on a CODAL. He is going to South Korea and India. I think once North Korea started launching a lot of missiles, it's the whole neighbor area has been destabilized. So a number of congressmen and senators are going to the region. And so he is going to provide a video for us.
Oh, wow.
And we have a few other special things that are going to still happen. So, I mean, it really will be an amazing symposium.
I'm looking forward to that myself. Yeah. It's just an opportunity to be in a room full of people that are really definitely influencers or influencers within our community, our state, our country, that we can have an opportunity to ask questions of and hear from them. Hopefully, I believe that I'll be speaking from the heart and really sharing with us. I've heard a number of these speakers on other occasions, and we have some good representatives there, definitely.
Right, and I think what I want to have them talk about as well as how we, the business community, can help them, because we're always asking them, well, we want this and fight for that and do this, but there's things that we can do. And I think it's important that the business community realizes that and, take some action too, because it's really Brevard County that we all care about. And so there's things all of us can do to make this a better place. And if it's some kind of support that they need from us, I want them to share that as well. So,
and this is I guess you could call it a signature event from the Greater Palm Bay Chamber.
Yes.
So do you have the other chambers on board supporting you?
No, this was one of those, I just started making phone calls and they all said yes. And it was like, oh, this is getting bigger than we thought we'd start off with a breakfast, and now we're okay. Well, that's another panel. Okay, that's another panel. Okay, now we're into the lunch. So yes,
it'll be a full day, and it's a Friday, so it's a great day. And what I think is amazing is that you're having it right off of the I-95 exchange here in 520, which is up in the Cocoa area.
Yes.
For those of us in Brevard County, kind of a little more north and central, but it's a very easy access. So if you're in, from Mika to Mims, is that what they say?
Right.
From anywhere in Brevard County, it'll be easier for you to get there. So definitely. So how can they register? Where can they find all the full details so they can definitely register and be there?
Well, thank you, Cheri. It's the Greater Palm Bay Chamber .com, and all the tickets are there. They can call our chamber if they want more information. That's the 321-951-9998. But going to our website, greaterpalmbaychamber.com is the best, just because there's the details you can click right on and pay right on the spot. So yeah.
And all of that, of course, will be listed on our So Social Radio Show Facebook page, and it's already up on the website there as well with the links to all of that, because this is just one of the many events that is happening here with the Chamber, the Greater Palm Bay Chamber, and it is definitely to serve the community.
Right. Yes, I believe that. It was one of those why nots. Why can't we do that? And then when I started making calls, I'm like, okay, this is really happening. So, it was pretty exciting, actually, I have to say. So we are looking forward to this being our first one of many. Obviously things can come up at the last minute. We had reached out to Senator Rubio and Senator Nelson and the governor, and they are not able to, with their schedules, be able to kind of say that far out if they can make it. So you never know. I mean, I still have hope, but
might
yes,
pop in.
You never know. So if we do, let me tell you, we'll be Facebooking the heck out of that. So
well, thank you for being a thought leader for our community and a servitude of our community. So I appreciate that.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. So what is the planning for next year in the chamber evolving to be? And I know I'm stretching you on that, but might as well.
Is this starting your fourth year?
No, I'm not even at second yet.
Oh, wow. Not that I feel you've been there forever, but it's just so much has happened.
It has, yes. We've done a lot in 2 years. September 14th